What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning back in to another episode of Florida Prison Talk. Got King Domi back on for part 2, War Stories. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button, man. It's free. We got King Domi back for part 2. And without no further ado, introduce yourself, King Domi.
Yo, what's good? It's King Domi. Shyne's my godfather, man. By the way, I don't know if I said the last video, man, but free King Shyne, a free white girl, man. Over they come home. We're to all my brothers to 80 yard, bro.
That's a fact. All right. So listen, out of these 7 years you've been in prison, which facility would you say you seen the most violence at?
Charlotte. Second would be Century, but yeah, for sure, Charlotte.
Okay, let's start off with Charlotte. I think we touched on it a little bit last time, but let's start from the beginning. It was weird, man. You said you guys got into it with the MS-13s at Charlotte.
Yeah.
But in the prison system, I thought that the Spanish people stuck together the most. How did that beef start with the MS-13s and the Latin Kings? Did you walk into that beef, or was you there from the start of it?
Yeah, I was there way before it too. I was there for a minute. So yes, Hispanics, we do stick together. You don't technically have to be in a gang to be part of, to get the support from the Spanish community. If you stand on your 2 feet, we don't care who you are as far as being Hispanic. If another gang tries to come rob you or do something, if you fight for your shit, we're gonna stand behind you, make sure they don't rob you. But if you just let them rob you, then just gonna get ate by the wolves. But with the 13s, yeah, I was there before that. And like I said, I think we touched on a little bit of last video. It was because of my brother, Lachusa, his name King Al. He's solid. I don't know if y'all heard about him or not, but he cut a 13 in the face, and and after that shit happened, basically the 13s told us, hey, y'all gotta handle your brother or we gonna handle him. And we were like, man, ain't nothing. So, they went and stabbed him like 40 times. He rocked out though. He was stabbing him left to right, jumping off the top tier. They're throwing mop buckets on him. I'm talking about my brother. It was 3 13s on him, holding the mop bucket down on him, holding the cart down on him, kept stabbing him. And my brother still stabbing him back, sending him back. He got life flighted. He almost died. But
Damn.
Yeah.
So when a situation like that happens, obviously everybody doesn't go back. Do they transfer a lot of people after that?
Yeah, so it depends. They usually do transfer. Anybody that stabs somebody or usually gets stabbed gets transferred. Charlotte was one of those few camps at that time that if you signed a waiver saying you weren't scared of somebody or of retaliation, so basically you signing a waiver telling the administration if something happens to you again, it's not their responsibility, it's not their fault. But most of the time, yeah, 99% of the time you get transferred. At that particular time, I guess because we have more influence at that particular institution, that they transferred the 13s and sent them all across the state. So yeah.
Okay. And when they transferred the 13s from Charlotte, was all the wars over with? Did you guys have any problems with any other organizations? Any more things happen?
Nah. Usually in prison in Florida, once you usually there's a problem in any other compound. Usually it's in the panhandle. They try to control you the most. The panhandle, I mean, in like northwest Florida. I'm talking about Century, Gulf, all those, ACI, all them camps over there. If shit happens, they lock you down for a long time or lock you down for a few days. But at Charlotte, it didn't matter if you get stabbed. The compound would still be open, but with so much shit was going on at that time, they locked the whole compound down. We usually eating dinner at like 2, 3 in the morning when we're supposed to be eating breakfast at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Yeah, but no, we didn't get anything after that. After that, it was more so everybody had personal issues. It was this brother stabbing this person or this whatever, whatever it was. It wasn't as a whole we were getting into it like another war against another gang. There was a lot of personal issues after that.
Okay. And not to create no beef, not to start nothing, everything, but a lot of these stories that King Shyne was speaking on, you don't got to answer this, bro. A lot of these stories King Shyne was speaking on, he had KFrog in the thing. How was you and KFrog's relationship? You guys was close like him and King Shyne were?
Nah, so from the very beginning, like I never liked KFrog. I respect, what he was doing, but the thing is that, I'm the type of person I am, Shyne fuck with him. So off Shyne's face, especially in prison, there was a few times that I wanted to flip him myself, but Shyne was like, nah, don't do that. I'm not starting shit. I'm just telling how it was.
Right.
So, but because the very beginning, for the people that want to know, is that me and Shyne were rocking out, stabbing people, going to war all the time. We were always, when you see Shyne on the pond, you see me next to him. It's always, it didn't matter what dorm he was hanging out. So this particular time we got out the box for flipping a dude in D dorm. He owed Shyne some money, went to go to another dorm and played. And as soon as he got back, actually, that's on KFrog's video. KFrog was taking the video. This shit happened. We flipped him. You know what I'm saying? We beat his ass, held a knife to his throat. He checked in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But KFrog, with I'm not saying KFrog ain't living like that, but he wasn't living like that by himself. When he had somebody behind him, yeah, he was fighting, he was doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But of course, on the other side, if you're a neutron, I'm not saying that you're gonna be, soft or something like that, but you're not gonna just go fight other gang members, because you're gonna get flipped. There's no
Right.
politics behind it to protect you, you know what I'm saying? So, but with Shyne, he got that, he was fucking with Shyne. And I'm not saying Shyne was protecting him. I'm saying that him and Shyne had a good relationship. So, that was Shyne's dog. So if something happened, Shyne was gonna ride behind him, and because he's my brother and my godfather, I'm gonna ride behind him, then all my brothers gonna ride behind it. You see what I'm saying?
Got you.
So,
That's okay. And on the situation, you said that you and Shyne flipped the dude when you backing up. How did that situation start? What did he get flipped over? He owed money?
yeah, he owed Shyne some money because he was smoking K2. K2 they call twag, whatever you want to call it in prison. You know what I'm saying? It's Tunchi or Spice, whatever you want to call it. He went to another dorm, owed Shyne some money. So we waiting. Hey man, that day was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this shit, because KFrog, I'm telling you, KFrog was funny though. I'm not gonna lie, KFrog was funny as shit. Is this he used to walk around, take videos of the police. I'm on a lot. I look a lot different now, but I'm in a lot of his stories when he's filming with him and Shyne. And some
Okay.
of the time I was there, so if people watch his stories. So that particular day, I got in a fight with a dude, what was his name, Ortiz, because he was hanging around with all the time. We wanted to make sure he was living like that, and I seen a lot of your viewers too, man. It don't matter how you look, bro. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? A lot of niggas used to come try me, man. A lot of them used to get fucked up and wet up, but
That's
this
right.
particular time we were like, hey, we're gonna see if you're living like that. I really, it's called TOH. I really wasn't on TOH with nobody, but he was talking a lot of shit. So I said, man, come on, we're gonna fight. So there's a video on his shit that I was fighting him too. And then after that, another nigga played with Shyne or KFrog or something like that. Then Shyne went over and beat his ass that same time, fucked him up, had his face like this. And then
Damn.
we waited for what's his name to come back, JP. If JP watching it, soft ass. So JP comes out and we fuck him up basically. Me and Shyne, he knew what was up because we came in the thing. He's like, "Dang, y'all gonna do me like that?" We're like, "Bro, just come to the cut, bro. Let us holler at you real quick." As soon as we get in the cut, Shyne popped off on him. Bam! I came behind him, start stomping him. I grabbed him from the other side of the bunk, grabbed the knife, hit him in the neck, and then held the knife there. And
You say
he
you
checked.
grabbed the knife, hit him in the neck?
Yeah. So I didn't mean to stab that particular time. I didn't mean to stab him, but when I was having the knife to his neck, I was trying to hold it there. And the way that he moved, it went in a little bit. But I wasn't trying to stab him in this particular situation. But it happened on. So and then he ended up going to the box.
Dang. All right, all right. And everybody speaks about the black gangs in prison, the Spanish gangs in prison. Have you guys ever had any confrontation with a white gang in prison? Have you had any problems with them? Or white boys in particular?
So nah. I mean, I had personal problems with some the white people, because especially when I got to another compound. I'm from my people all the way for the Latinos out there. I'm for my Hispanics, and they used to come up to me and they'd be like, not knowing who I was, start talking shit about the Spanish person, and I'll get in a problem with them about it. But yeah, the white gangs are not. I'm not saying that a lot of them are soft, but they're not living like that down south. You got some of them in Florida that are living like that, but not too many of them.
Okay, okay. Let's switch facilities from Charlotte. Let's talk about Century. Was Century another violent place you was at?
Yeah, but
What,
it was. Go ahead, my bad.
what's some of the things that happened at Century CI that you remember? Some of the violence you engaged in, some of the stories you got from Century CI.
So at Century, man, there was a lot of my brothers. This is one of the times that I actually had a lot of my brothers in the compound. I always myself, I always, it wasn't a complex. It's just that I had a lot of anger built up, so I wouldn't let a lot of shit slide. So I was always getting into fights. You know what I'm saying? I was at Century for like not even 3 days before. It wouldn't have nothing to do with me, but the whole respect thing was, it was a cutthroat. That's a gang in Florida in Jacksonville called the Cutthroat. Um, but anyways, that he was my bunkie, a cutthroat. I'm outstairs playing with cars with some other Hispanics, some 13s and Soreños, and one of my brothers came up, named Chapo. He was like, "Hey man, someone's in your room. Someone's in your room." He doesn't go in someone's room. So I come down there and I see my bunkie talking shit to him. I'm like, "Bro, what's up? What's up with this? What he did?" He was like, "Oh, he put his dick out on me." So when he said that, he didn't do it to me, but he went to my room to do it. So, and I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck are you talking to him for?" So I ran up to him and I hit him, bam, 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 dropped him, and he started trying to run. And then I ran in my room, got a plexiglass knife, and I started stabbing him right there in the day room. And then he went into
Mm,
the room. I was just fucking him up, bro. But it was a cutthroat's job to do that shit, bro, because he pulled his dick out on you, bro. You don't do shit like that, and then you
damn,
have retaliation. You just sitting there talking to him. I don't understand what the problem was.
damn. So when you in prison, you got a bunkie. You and your bunkie, y'all form like a bond. Like that's
Nah,
how it
not
is.
really. To be honest, I didn't trust a lot of my bunkies, man. I felt like a
Okay.
lot of them were police, and regardless, didn't matter who they were. If you were a gang, I'm not saying you're police to the police, but you go tell your brothers, "Oh man, I got a king in my room. He got this, he got that, he doing this, he got doing that." And even if you got a bunkie, you don't tell your bunkie everything that you're doing. Like me, a lot of times, I'm cool with my bunkie. Don't get it twisted. Like if I'm a bunkie, he's sleeping in the room with me, so I want to make sure we have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
we on terms. So when we get in a room, we're like, "Hey, listen, bro, you bang?" He says, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, what you bang?" Blah blah blah. We start politicking a little bit. He said, "Listen, cause I ain't allowed nobody to gun in my room." So I say, "Ain't no gun in this room, bro. So if you do that, it's out. No smoking K2 in my room. You can't do that either." So, and if we couldn't come to a conclusion, one of us had to leave, bro. Or we gonna fight until we get some understanding. I never came to that. I didn't have to fight nobody. Like when I first came in the room, but afterwards, because they kept disrespecting, I ended up fighting a few people.
Okay. And being at Century CI, how many incidents you say happened while you were there that you got into personally that you can speak
Uh,
of?
probably, I was at Century for like a year. I probably got into 17, probably around 17 altercations. Yeah.
Speak on a couple more of those, man. That's a
I
lot of
talked about
altercations,
the blood
man.
already. Yeah, I talked to one about the blood already.
Right.
Another one, usually, being a Lion King, you're not really supposed to, how to say this, like you're not supposed to converse with other gangs, you know what I'm saying, like that. So, but this particular time, I was fucking with this one of my homeboys, and he got in a fight with a white boy. I ain't gonna lie, this white boy is whooping his ass, though.
Right. Right.
Yeah, this white boy is whooping his ass. So I'm like Dirk, his name was Dirk. I said, "Bro, you better not let this dude beat your ass, bro." So he kept whooping his ass, whooping his ass. Finally, I could have taken him more. I ain't gonna lie, I jumped him. Ain't no fair ones, man. Fuck that. You ain't gonna you gonna beat up my homeboy, man. Fuck that. So I beat that dude's ass, and I was trying to he was trying to hide underneath the bunk, and I'm grabbing his pants to pull him out, man. This nigga pulled out his whole pants, hiding on the bunk, started screaming. One of the stories you probably want to hear about, and the viewers probably want to hear about. I was trying to think of one before the interview because so many shit happened. Like, see, a lot of people have a lot of stories, and I got a lot too, but it was happening so frequently that sometimes you just like blank out what was happening, because
Right.
you can't focus on the past all the time because it's literally a war zone in prison. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So you have to be, you got to be militant when you're moving in prison. Always stay strapped, always looking, watch how people move. So a lot of the stories, you don't really think about till later. But this one was at Charlotte too. I was on the compound for 2 weeks, and there's one of my brothers named Animal. He's not my brother no more, but he came to visitation. He brought back a bomb, and he was smoking, kept dropping his bomb. And this ZMF nigga kept picking it up and giving it back to him. And I was like, bet. So I gave the ZMF dude a 50 because he ain't had to give it back to him, but he did it
Right.
anyways, out of strength of respect. So, but this particular dude, man, this shit's hilarious. So it's this black dude, right? He's missing like four of his front teeth. In prison, a lot of people, y'all been in prison, y'all gonna laugh. You got people that's practicing boxing all the time, karate and shit. It's funny. I'll be like, man, and a lot of times you think to yourself, I wonder if this dude can really fight, right? This particular dude is always doing this shit all the time. And he ended up stealing one of my brother's bonds. And my brother said, hey, bro, you got my shit. He said, nah, man, I don't got it. But my brother seen him pick it up. So he comes tells me, and I'm trying to get my knife out from underneath the vent. And I grab my knife, ain't nothing happening. So I go back to my cell because I was barred out the night before. So I was like, what the fuck? So next time I hear boom, bam, bam, bing, bam, 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 bam. Oh shit. So I jump out, I run to the room, and he's beating my brother's ass. So I jump in the room, so bam, 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 bam. Out of nowhere, this dude is my brother's flying across the floor, knocked out. So I step outside the room. So I'm not in the room anymore. I step out and I'm like looking at him like, damn, bro. And out of nowhere, I get hit in my face. Bam. So I stumble back and I jump.
I think you're breaking up, Domi. You're breaking up. Hold up. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, so you said so he's beating your homeboy up and you step outside the door.
My bad. So I was saying he was beating my brother up. Well, not he ain't my brother no more. But anyways, he got dropped on the floor. I'm looking back at him like, damn, the dude hits me out of nowhere. I don't know who hit me because I wasn't in the cell no more. I was on the outside of the cell, like with my face blocking it. So I didn't know what happened. Next thing I know, my knife dropped. I grabbed my knife. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna wet this dude up because I was just gonna fight him right then. But I was like, nah, he did that. Then Shyne was there. Shyne started hitting him with a lock. It was like there was a blood there that was jumping him too, hitting with a lock. We ended up getting him on the top tier, and Shyne was stabbing him in his leg. Bam, bam, bam. He was screaming so loud. Everybody in the whole building. There's four different dorms inside in the building. It's called a butterfly. Everybody heard him, and at this point, we're not trying to hide it from the police. We flipping the dude. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, I'm like, bro, what happened? And what happened was the dude actually knew karate. You know what I'm saying? He snap kicked me in my face, bro.
You serious?
Hell yeah. He snap kicked me in my face so fast, I didn't even see it coming, bro. I didn't even know what happened. That shit was funny.
Right. Okay. So why you? I couldn't help but notice that you kept saying he used to be your brother. Why did you say that for?
Yeah, because I can't get to it. He did something that he wasn't, he wasn't my brother no more. You know what I'm saying? I can't get too much into it. Yeah.
Got you. So listen, and I hear people getting X'd out in gangs. Have you ever had to do a removal and remove somebody from your organization, get them off the compound?
Yeah, I can't talk about that. Yeah.
I appreciate that, bro. That's real.
Yeah.
Okay, check this out. The whole time you've been in prison, man, not which organization has the most influence, which organization has the most numbers in your time in prison?
Probably the Bloods.
Okay.
Probably the Bloods. Yeah, the Bloods, because he got so many different sets. You got the East Side, the West Side. You know what I'm saying? We don't really, the East Side, man. A lot of them are cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? They're good people, man. But yeah, it's everybody wants to be a Blood for some reason. I don't know.
That's got to be in every state, man. Even like in the New York State Department where my brother's at, it's like the most of them.
Yeah, everyone wants to be a Blood.
Yep. And at one point, man, you said you were the enforcer. What's the enforcer expected to do? Collect debt, stuff like that?
Yeah, I can't really talk about that either. I can't tell you what I was doing. Yeah.
That's even better, bro. All right. Let me just go down. Okay. Because it's you said you've been locked up in 3 states: Virginia, Maryland, and Florida.
Out
of those 3 states, which state would you say was the most violent?
Florida for sure. Virginia's not really violent. You know what I'm saying? That shit was so sweet. Maryland is violent now, but it's a different type of violence. Like in Florida, I'm not saying some people don't try to kill people, but most of the time, people stab somebody $150 in the face to get them on the compound. Whereas in Maryland, people are trying to kill people when they stabbing you, and they do kill people a lot. And I've seen a lot of people die in Florida too now.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, but Florida's was such a way, like there's like over 100,000 inmates in prison in Florida, whereas in Maryland there's only like 30,000. So it's a big difference.
I got you. And all these wars and stuff you was getting into, man, it seemed like you was always on top. You always was the winner. Was there ever a time when you was in prison where somebody actually got the best of you one time, or it never happened?
Yeah.
Did you ever fight somebody like, man, that man had hands, or he brought it to me? I ain't gonna lie, he had hands. You ever had that?
Well, yeah, like I said, the last story I was telling about the blood, you know what I'm saying? He got the best of me. Yeah, he knocked me down actually. He hit hard as shit. But most of the time it's just that I don't know, you call it intuition or something. Like you don't wait for someone to do something to you. You know, sometimes there's fights like I've been in a fight. Most of the time I'm taking off first. I take flight first. I'm not even waiting for you to hit me. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it out the way. So
Okay,
most of the time when you hit somebody first, they're not expecting it, or they might be expecting it. You still got the upper hand, so you better just hit hard and fast and try to win. But I had a few times. Most of the time, they were done with. But sometimes they'll fight me, but they end up losing anyway. So
got you. Okay,
it's
and the last interview you say you got into a fight, it was over the phones. Now, is the phone something that people fight about all the time, or are there enough phones for everybody to be comfortable without arguing over it? Is that a regular thing you fight over?
no. The phone. No, I did not. No, it was a fight over the kiosk, not the phone. The phone is so hard to get on it. I mean, to get approved for the visitation list, because you have to get it to approve for the phone, you have to have your people send you a phone bill, and it can't be a prepaid like Metro. It has
Oh,
to be like Verizon, Sprint, or something like that. So I mean, like, who has those contract services? Almost no one. So a lot of people wouldn't get on the phone, but the kiosk is only one per dorm. You know, so yeah, that is a problem, and a lot of times fights do happen because of the kiosk. You know, because you can get on. Man, what was it? You can get on for 15 minutes once every hour, I think it is. You can get on
okay,
once, but sometimes people charging the phones off the side of the kiosk, and so they get four of the homeboys because you keep plugging up your MP, you get a tablet, and you don't want to keep unplugging your phone from someone. So it was a whole bunch of this stupid shit, man. I always get into problems, man, over that dumbass kiosk.
got you. And speaking of different parts of the prison, where did the most shit go down at? Was it the chow hall, the rec yard, or the dorm? Like, where did the most stuff go down at?
Well, it depends on the prison, because I know nobody wants to go to CM. CM is tough, man. So you're gonna want to try to get away with it. So when you get to a compound, you really have to be on, like I said earlier, a militant war type shit. Like, man, I wonder if this cut, can the camera see me right here? Can I go over there? Can I get over here? Can I go? And you really have to think like that. You have to read books. You have to, be on top of your shit, work out. You really in war. You know what I'm saying? At all times. So, like in Century, nobody was stabbing people in the dorm. It happens sometimes because normally when you stab somebody in a dorm, especially at Century, you're trying to check in or you just don't give a fuck. Either that person doesn't leave the dorm to go to the chow hall. So at Century, it always happened at the chow hall or definitely at rec. Every time rec was called, somebody was getting stabbed because there's no cameras out there. You get away with it. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of facility was it? Did they have a lot of lifers there? What?
Every prison I went to have a shitload of lifers. You see, they match you up. Like, even when I was about to go home, I was in a room with people with life. It's so stupid, but they do that. And I've seen people talking on videos. Oh, in Florida Department of Corrections, you don't get matched up with lifers. That's a lie, bro. That's a lie. I was getting matched up with lifers all the time. Or 20 years, 30 years. I got 2 years left, but this dude got 45 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that shit really doesn't matter, bro, because most of the people in life, they lay down. What I mean is that they're institutionalized already. They let the police. They, as soon as the doors pop open, they run to the town hall to run back to the dorm. I'm like, so
Gotcha.
why are you in such a rush? You know what I'm saying, to go back inside if you're inside all the time? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That make a lot of sense, bro. And I noticed something, bro. When I looked you up, like a lot of guys I look up, man, they like when I look them up and they out of prison, custody status is usually community, minimum they be at the work camp. I cannot help but when I looked you up, man, and you EOS at close custody. So
Yeah.
you went the whole time you was there, you was just going at it. It didn't drop down. That's what I'm saying. Usually people get home, they be
Nah.
like, okay, he left on medium, he left on community. You left on close custody, huh?
Yeah. I left on HO4. I was HO4 from the time I stepped in prison to the time I got out the door.
Hmm.
Like I said, I was always getting into some shit, man. It never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of times, a lot of problem is it's like when I was at Cross City, I was at Charlotte. Charlotte was a war camp. I'm talking about war ready all the time. I left Charlotte, went to Cross City. the funny thing is, I stabbed so many people at Charlotte, bro. All these people that used to talk shit, do this, like they were gangster, all this. A lot of people that be doing that, they scared. It's the defense mechanism. But I used to flip them anyways, and it was the way I got shipped. The reason why I said the stabbing shit is because I never got shipped for none of that shit. The reason why I got shipped is because it was an officer, and she was like, hey man, stop twacking out in here. It's bringing hit to your dorm. If y'all don't fix it, we gonna run down on your shit. We got shitload of phones or whatever. There's a dude working in the kitchen. He didn't twack out the whole weekend. Then finally when this bitch come, he wants to twack out. And I tell him, I said, bro, get the fuck in your room, man. Because he's twacking out on the top tier, like shaking. I'm like, bro, get to your room. He was like, fuck you. I was like, oh, fuck me. So the officer sees the truck, man, y'all better go get him in the room. I said, all right, I got you. As soon as I get in the room, I barely hit him, bro, because he was smaller than me, at that time. And I barely hit him, but he fell to the ground. He had a gash in his eye, like from here all the way down, like flush, wide open. I pick him up, laying on the bed. He starts trying to he's not fighting me, like punching me. He's fighting me for me to get off of him. And I slammed the door on him, and the police came and locked me up, and I got transferred for that weak ass shit. That was a weak ass transfer right there.
Right.
But
And that was
that was at Charlotte. Yeah, that was at Charlotte. That was after like 3 years of me being at Charlotte, and I guess it's because I was there for so long. Even the officers, bro, like people at Charlotte they would come be a TAs meaning new officers. They're like, hey man, watch out for Domi, man. And they start watching. I got used to getting so many problems that I used to rewatch the videos of me and Shyne flipping people. You know what I'm saying? And just based on my appearance, they're like, oh, he ain't living. Like even the new officers, oh, look at this white boy, blah blah blah. And officers will be telling the white shirts, hey, listen, leave him alone, man. You know what I'm saying? That used to be so funny, bro. When I got sent to Cross City, I was there with King Breezy. Someone said something in the comments. King Breezy, y'all know him. He's solid as fuck. He living like that too. He can sing and rap his ass off. That's my dog right there. And he got shipped from Cross City because of me. And that story was I was there for 3 weeks, and I was even there for 2 weeks, and we got into it with disease because we didn't come to war. But that particular time we was got to the Z, so I'm not gonna really talk about that because nothing happened. But with Breezy, one of my brothers, he said his bunkie was jacking off to one of his pictures, his family pictures. So as soon as he told me and Breezy that, because we on the same building as him, we're like, yo, why didn't you flip him right there? Why you coming to tell us? You should have beat his ass right then. So, but at the time he's making a razor blade, he's shaking. I'm like, come on. His name was Sanchez. I said, Dan Sanchez, like, bro, you gonna fumble, bro.
Right.
I'm telling them, I just left a war zone basically. So at Cross City was so sweet, bro. Like I felt like I was free. That's how sweet it was.
Damn.
So I used to tell them, I said, bro, please miss me with that shit. And they were young, so they had something to prove. I said, bro, please stay away from me with this shit, dog. Let me relax for at least a few months, bro.
Right.
But
so did he make it though? Did he finish making it? He was fumbling with it, did he?
Nah. He finished making it, but I said, bro, go get him on the rec field because there's no cameras there. And I'm looking for him. I got my knife. I'm gonna stab him for him, man. He's about to go home in 6 months. I had like 2 years left. I was like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna stab him, man. Whatever. And the problem was he was in the rec field, but he was standing next to the police. He didn't know we were looking for him. He came back in the dorm and then walks down the aisle, and then Sanchez, he comes back up. Sanchez meets him in the stairwell. So the stairwell goes up, turns, and goes back up in a T building, but it's in the old T building, not the new T buildings. And all I hear is boom, 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 boom. So I take my time. I run up the stairs, pull out my knife, and the first time I stabbed him, I hit him in his shoulder. Bam! I pulled out a knife, and I stabbed him again. But when I hit him in the head, I hit him in the middle of the head from the back, and went all the way up like this. So his head split open like this. At that time, my knife bent. It was a metal knife, so I bent it back. But the thing is, once you lose, and once it bends, every time you stab him now, it's gonna bend again. So I bend it back and I stab him one more time, but I hit him in the neck this time, right here. And there's blood everywhere. I threw the knife because the police, at the same time, I didn't know the bloods flipped somebody else in D dorm, which was right across the way. So the police was running into F dorm. They didn't see me stabbing him. But the thing is, they're running into the dorm to lock everybody down. But when they see me, They said that they saw me with a knife, but it was a lie. They sprayed me with pepper spray in my face, slammed me on the ground. I start fighting with the police. They keep spraying me. Man, that pepper spray hurts. That's that pressure.
Damn.
Yeah. So, and I almost went to see him for that, but they couldn't prove it. I didn't admit to it, and they couldn't prove that I stabbed him. He said that I stabbed him, the Haitian
Oh, he
dude.
did. Okay.
Yeah, he snitched. He said, "Oh, Domi, he stabbed me because of a phone, and it wasn't even for a phone. It was because you jacked your dick off to my brother's girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
why he got
Okay.
stabbed." Yeah, bro.
As we close, real quick, I got two more questions. Have you ever had problems with somebody at a facility, and then then you have problems with him? He gets transferred, and later on in your bid, you go to a new facility and you see that same person again. Have you ever had a problem like that?
So yes, I have. So the thing is, if you don't check in or get stabbed by some or even beat up, because once you get beat up by somebody and the administration knows about it, they put you on what is it called? They flag them. It's like a no contact. So when you about to get transferred, they run your name with all the other people's name, so you guys don't end up at the same compound. Sometimes mistakes happen, or sometimes you're not on that list, so you run into them again. And I got jumped one time. I got jumped by 5 people. You know what I'm
Damn.
saying? And one of the dudes that was there, he wasn't part of them jumping me, but he was there and he could have done something, but he didn't. So I ended up catching him in another compound. And I wanted to flip him so bad, bro. But, I was talking to my brothers, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to let him be. You know what I'm saying? Because he was one of my brothers at the time. But what's even worse is he was my brother at the time. And then when I ran into him again at Century, he wasn't my brother. So it was nothing stopping me from flipping him. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I was like, I said, you know what? He came and talked to me. He was like, he knew what time it was, bro. So I don't know. Something told me just to leave him alone. So I mean, there's a lot of times that I spared a lot of people, bro. There was a
Okay.
lot of times I spared a lot of people, bro. So I don't want people to think I was just out there flipping and fighting everybody. I gave people chances. I guess the last story, I fought an officer too at Charlotte
Damn.
too.
Hold on, before you go to that, we'll make that the last story. Okay. Why
Uh,
did they jump you for though? Why did 5 people? What was the reason?
So they say so. A lot of times, what happened was I was in another dorm, and I was in A4. A4 was the only open population dorm, and the other 3 dorms were the other 2 bays were segregation. It was the box. So the dudes were trying to get me out the door, and they kept sending the police to me, sending the police to me, sending them. So one of the police that I used to fuck with, because he used to bring in the bomb, he
That's
found
right.
my phone. So a lot of especially at Charlotte, all the officers fought with the brothers, all the kings. So they would tell us, hey, this person dropping a kite, and they'll give us the names and everything, and then we'll go flip them. So I mean, you weren't safe from Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? Like you weren't safe from shit. So one of the police came and took my phone. He said, "Man, listen, I have to take it." There was 3 other officers with him. He said, "Listen, Rodriguez, I gotta take it, bro. But listen, this person telling you." I didn't even make it the next morning to do anything because I had a kite dropped on me. Said I was bringing in phones and dope, and with the police. You know what I'm saying? They snitched on me, dropped the kite. So they sent me to confinement. My bro, and so when they sent me to confinement, the dude that dropped the kite on me, he starts telling my brothers, "Hey, I don't know what Domi did. He owes some money. I don't know if he told or something like that." I said, "What?" So my brothers can't send me in confinement because in Charlotte you can go to confinement. Tell your brother. I said, "Bro, I don't know what this nigga's talking about, but you better wet his ass up, bro. Give him
That's
out the
right.
compound." And then the police that the police that they said I was bringing the bomb with, I wasn't even bringing it with him. There was a white boy, a sergeant. That wasn't the one I was bringing with the Spanish person. And so when I got out of confinement, I told the officer, I said, "Bro, you need to watch what the fuck you talking about because I didn't give a fuck." And then one of the other officers said something, and I went and fought him in the Sally Port. You know what I'm saying? This is the same time it happened. I fought him in the Sally Port. It was a black guy, Haitian guy.
Hold on.
Real
Was
big.
this a fight he agreed to? He said, "Okay, let's fight." Or
Yeah. So in confinement, a lot of inmates like to talk shit because they feel like the police are gonna jump you, which they will. You know what I'm saying? But there's some police that will fight you one-on-one. So I say, "Hey, bro, take off your belt." You know what I'm saying? And take off your shirt. This dude said he took off his shirt, took off his belt, and he was trying to take me. And all the T buildings, they have a room in the back for medical, no cameras. So we go to back there, and it just so happened it was locked. I said, "Nah, hell nah." He was talking shit for a while, so we ended up fighting. And with the police, bro, you can't knock him out and you can't win. You got to let the police get off because then you're just gonna get fucked up. But
Got you.
I didn't let him do this, but he hit. Well, what happened was he was like shaking his head, like trying to dodge it, and I hit him and I dropped him. He got up and rushed me and like threw me halfway across the sally port. I didn't let him do that. He did that shit. And I hit my head on the door, got up, and then the other police was like, nah, y'all good, y'all good. And after that, that police gave me even more respect. He's like, okay, all right, because my looks look like that I'm not gonna do that, and I'm not living like that. But in reality, it's the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Complete opposite.
In complete opposite, yeah. So
Yes,
what happened with my brothers? I ended up flipping that dude, and that's why I got jumped because before that happened, the dudes, which was my brothers, they jumped me inside the dorm, and it was like 5 of them that hit me with locks. I still got scars on my head right here.
You said they was your brothers, though?
Yeah, they were my brothers. Yep. So they hit me with the locks, you know what I'm saying? But that situation got cleared up, you know, everything got handled, and everything's good. You know, just like I said, prison is not always, you know, fun and games. You know,
Got you.
even your own people, you know, you gotta watch out for your own people, you feel me?
That's
So,
right.
you know, not getting too much into it, they got repercussions for what happened, but you know, it just, you know, it's so much shit that can happen. Like even if you're living like that, you're not living like that. So much shit can happen to you. You know, it's not like I didn't get hurt. Like I got stabbed in my hand one time when I was fighting somebody. I was having a knife fight. He stabbed me in my hand right here.
Hold on, back it up real quick as we close. I'll say it again. You say you had a knife fight?
Yeah, I got in a few knife fights. Yeah, so I'm
So
trying to stab
is that
somebody.
like something you agree to? Yo, go get your knife. Let's go at it. That's
Nah. So what happened was, you know, most of the time, I mean, sometimes people did that, but I never did that. I never said go get your knife and let's have a knife fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get stabbed. I'm trying to stab somebody. You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
So,
Okay.
you know, so one time I went to go stab somebody and he peeped it, you know what I'm saying? And he put up his knife. So me and him are going back at it, trying to, you know, take off our jackets, throwing it so, you know, I was covered. And he ended up
Right.
stabbing me in my hand, bro. That almost went through my hand. I have a lot of other stories, man. We could do another part if you want, bro. I got to
We're
fight
gonna do
with
a
another
part 3.
blood.
We're gonna
So,
do a part 3, definitely. But
yeah.
real quick, last thing. When he stabbed you in your hand after that, you guys both remained on the compound together and it was squashed?
Nah. Hell nah. That nigga got stabbed. I ended up winning that night fight.
Oh.
And yeah, he slipped. And when he was trying to jump back and weave back, and a lot of people make that mistake of when they're fighting somebody, they do this like matrix shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the worst thing you can do. You know, because as soon as you do that matrix shit, I kick you in your foot and you're on your ass now. And that's what happened. And I ended up stabbing him and he got off the compound.
Wow. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all heard it right here with King Domi, Florida Prison Talk, easy win. Hit that like and subscribe button, man. Last thing, what you gonna tell that little jitterbug out there, man? That's thinking about joining the gang, man. He's on the edge right now. He might go, he might not. What advice would you tell him coming from the horse's mouth about joining the gangs?
Well, that's a tough question. You know, when you're young, man, and you join a game, man, you thinking that it's you know, and I'm still a king, and I'm always gonna be a king, you know, because that's what I decided, and that's, you know, but I am a family man. I take care of my family. I'm not here doing stupid shit, but it's for the kids. It seems like you're accepted, that you're part of something. You got people that love you, or you know, because sometimes you don't have that father in your life or that brother, you know, and they feel like at that time they feel like they got your back, bro. But when it comes down to it, in prison, yeah, they're gonna get you back because they have to get you back, you know. But they really, a lot of times, man, sometimes they don't love you, bro. If it was me and I did it all over again, I wouldn't join the game, man. I would have been by myself in school, you know, learning stuff, man. If you like living that life, you like stabbing people, you like shooting people, you like doing it, go for it. That's a perfect life for you, man. But you're not gonna end nowhere but jail and prison. And I know a lot of people say that, you know, but that's the truth. It's not like it's just a saying that people just say. Nah, it's facts. And I lived that life. And I've been in prison 3 times. You know, so you know, I wouldn't do it.
Hey, man, Florida Prison Talk. Hit that like and subscribe button. Easy win. King Domi. We out of here.